Hey, good morning. Welcome back. Thanks for taking a few minutes with me today. What I want to cover today in this micro sermon is the concept of being connected with God at all times and what that really looks like in reality as a Christian. How can you be connected with God in everything that you do? There's a verse in the New Testament that says that we're to pray without ceasing. There's another that says that we're to take every thought captive for Him and His kingdom. So, what does that look like as adults as we navigate life and the responsibilities and all the stuff that pulls us in every different direction? How do we stay connected with God at all times? And as I was kind of working through this, praying through it, I realized that in life there was something non-spiritual that was catching my attention, and I think it's a good parallel, a good analogy to how you can be dialed into God at all times. So the thing that hit me was we're looking at vehicles. I'm in the market for a car. It's a terrible time to buy a new car, but of course that's kind of how it works sometimes. So we're looking at cars, and I'm not a car guy. I don't really know much about cars other than how to drive them. So I'm analyzing make and model and trims and colors and features, and does the seats fold down in the back, and can we fit the three kids and the dog and everything else that comes when you're looking at vehicles. And so I'm super honed in right now to automobiles. Every car that I pass, I'm looking at, analyzing, and making a decision as to whether or not that particular car could be a fit for my family. So it's very top of mind. Jenny told me about a term when she used to sell real estate, TOMA, top of mind awareness. And so I've got very strong TOMA right now to anything related to automobiles because I'm in that market, because I'm a potential buyer for a new car. And as I was thinking through it, I think that's in a spiritual context kind of what Jesus is saying when he says to take every thought captive. He knows that we have responsibilities. The children that we have are a gift from him. Our spouse is a gift from him. The privilege of owning a home or having a job, these are all things that come directly from him. So he's fully aware of where you're positioned and what you need to get done. Your to-do list is not something that you came up with. He's aware of this, and he's got you in a particular place at a particular time with a certain set of responsibilities. And yet, he's telling us to take every thought captive, to be connected to him, to be one with him as often as we possibly can be. So, as I was thinking through the automobile thing, it's super top of mind right now because it's relevant, because it's important to me, because I'm trying to buy a vehicle that's going to be a good fit for my family. And I think what God is saying from a spiritual context is, I want you to be connected to me in everything. Yes, the big decisions and the big days, and when you have those breakthrough spiritual moments, you want to be there, but also the mundane. If you're drinking a cup of coffee in the morning or having a chat with a friend or going to work, whatever you're doing, do it to love and serve the Lord. He's saying he wants to be a part of it. That shows him that you're dependent on him, that you love him, that he's important to you. And it's important that that's not just when you have good spiritual days, but also when you have bad spiritual days. There are peaks and valleys and everything, and that's no different in your spiritual walk with God. You're going to have good times, you're going to have not so good times. And the good times, it's easy. You know, I had a moment this morning where my daughter woke up, we were under a blanket watching some cartoons. My son came down, and he kind of got under the same blanket, and we're all just laying there, a little hazy and tired on a Sunday morning watching cartoons. And I thought to myself, my goodness, this is everything. You know, this is fantastic. I prayed for this. We had years where we couldn't have children, and now I've got three amazing children. They like to snuggle with me on the couch. It's a good time in my life, and I thank God for that moment. I said, thank you, God. I had nothing to do but pray and give just worship and praise to the fact that that moment existed in my life. But then there's times when things don't go really well, and I think he's seeking that spiritual connection and that oneness and that dependence in those times as well. And it took me back to the beginning of the book of James, where it says, count it all as joy, my brothers, when you meet trials of various kinds, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, and let steadfastness have its full effect, that you may be perfect and complete and lacking in nothing. So it's that constant connection, going back to him and seeing him in every little detail of your life. And when you start to do that, when you realize that you are a spirit in a human body, and that everything is connected to the one that gave you that spiritual life and that wants to guide you through this existence and be with you now and be with you in heaven, you start to see everything from a spiritual context, and things start to make a little more sense. He's not going to give you the answer to everything, but when you cling to him and go to him, when he's Toma, when he's top of mind awareness in everything that you do, there's a level of peace, but there's also a deepened connection. And we see this with everything. If you spend more time with your friends, you get closer. You spend time with your family, you get closer. You're not going to be close to your spouse unless you commit to having that time one-to-one. It's the same thing with Christ. He's saying, give me that time, give me that awareness. I realize you got stuff going on, but I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of the little things, and I want to be a part of the big things. So just like looking at the vehicles, you're dialed in. When you go through life this week, I would encourage you to be dialed into Christ, to think about him in the little things. Go to him in those moments of just simplicity, where you're just doing life, but do it with him. He wants a relationship, and he wants a connection. He wants to be a part of everything. So that's what I got today. Thanks for taking a few minutes with me on a Sunday. Hopefully we'll be back next week. Till then, God bless. Take care. We'll talk soon.